You're watching Bophelong on SABC News, Channel 404. My name is Bule Molebatsi. Welcome to the show. When Sarinisa and Julius McClopper discovered that their son David would be born with phocomelia, a rare congenital disorder that affects the limbs, they prepared for David's special needs. But little did they know that the biggest challenge would be keeping up with David's busy schedule. Despite the physical challenges, David lives a full life and continued to break the barriers. Our producer, Nombuso Mahlangu, spent a day with the McCloppers, and this is what they got up to.
David McClopper is a 14-year-old from Randfontein. He was diagnosed with phocomelia before birth. Phocomelia is an extremely rare congenital disorder involving malformation of the limbs. Feeling and seeing himself as any other kid, David admits he didn't see himself different to other kids. He saw his short limbs as a unique body part rather than a disability.
My mother asked me, I think when I was 8 years old, I didn't even realize that I was disabled. My mother asked me, how does it feel to be different from other children? And then I'm like, I didn't even realize it. You just let it came to my mind now. So I just went normal. I used to play with them, soccer, cricket, play in the sand, roll, get dirty, parents shouting at me for getting dirty like that. So then I felt normal. I still feel normal.
Because of David's condition, his mother was advised to abort him.
The second doctor, he said that he actually encouraged us, or he advised us to abort the pregnancy. So I already had in my mind that there's no way that I can abort the pregnancy, because we are religious, we are Christians, and we don't believe in abortion in the first place. And to me it was, I'm not God, I'm not going to do it. If this child is to love, he's going to love. If he's not going to love, then he will die. Even before birth or during birth, something is going to happen. So I told the doctor, no, we are not going to, we are going to keep the baby. And he said, you're going to have a child that is going to be a burden to you and all that.
His birth filled a void that was unnoticed before and brought joy that was unexpected.
The doctor who helped there, when she took him out, she said, wow, it's the first time that I see something like this. But not in a bad way, she said it. But she said, look at his face, it's perfect. So I looked at him and I saw his face and I saw it's perfect.
His parents were able to quickly adjust to David's condition, although his father, Julius McClopper, was worried about playing with his child. Soon as he was born, everything happened naturally to the inexperienced parents.
For me as a father, at first it was very hard, because it's a boy. You want to do things with your boy, your son, and whatever that other fathers do with their children. But then I used to adapt. I got used to the situation that we are in and adapt to that. But for him laughing at me all the time and showing me, this is how you kick a ball, this is how you do this thing, not this way, and telling me, you know what, that wasn't a penalty. It's like that kind of a person. He wants to see everything. What are you looking at? Lift me up so I can see that. Put me on this thing and I can see it. This is how he is, very alive and cheerful.
Both Julius and Sarinisa McClopper expressed the beauty of their unique son. As a toddler, they allowed David to guide them through every step.
I knew that he was not going to be, the process of him growing up is not going to be normal, because he couldn't sit. In the first place, he didn't have the full length of his legs, so we knew he wasn't going to be able to walk. But you know, we just allowed him to move around as he sees himself fit. We just put him around cushions on the bed. He started to sit And then we saw him starting to bump on the bed, and that's how he started to move from one place to the other. He started to move by bumping on his bum. So that is how he started, he actually figured out things for himself.
As David's condition had no genetic history in his family, everyone had to take it as it came, including his sister Janice, who opened up and welcomed David like a normal brother.
I don't give him special attention. Well, actually, David is a kind of person, he doesn't want people to feel sorry for himself. He likes to prove himself. He likes to show that he can do certain things on his own. So when my friends are around, he's like any normal kid. Like, we do argue in front of my friends also. My friends, like, love him. Sometimes I feel like they're here for him and not for me.
There are only minor things that David sees as challenges.
Some things like getting on the toilet or going to bathing, but other than that stuff, I'm normal. I'm moving around. I'm not scared of anything. Like my challenges is big for me, but I climb the mountains every day.
David is confident in that he was made perfect and never doubted God.
I asked him once, why am I like this? And then he gave me an answer in a dream when he said, don't worry.
He was able to adapt quickly to the world that hardly embraces uniqueness. David made friends quicker than most kids would.
My friends, I don't know, they just had that soft spot for me. They didn't tease me. They used to tease me like, oh, your hair looks very funny today, but not like teasing like in a bad way. We used to tease each other a lot. But the children outside, they look at me and I'm like smiling at them. Then they smile at me back, and I think that's how I made friends, by being friendly to them, so they can see I'm not an alien after all.
Comfortable in his body, David gives you no option but to fall in love with his contagious self-confidence.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and David is living proof of that. Let's take a short break. We'll be back right after that.
Good. Boy. Sit.
Get behind Rugby World Cup 2015 on SABC.
Welcome to Network, a technology news program that also discusses what's trending in social media in and around Africa. MTN has launched its new movie and television streaming service, Front Row. If it's trending, we will find it. That's Network with me, Spumelele Zondi, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on the SABC News Channel.
Welcome back to the show. Hope School invited us to their Heritage Day concert where David shows off one of his many talents.
His name being David, the cheerful 14-year-old understands the significance of his name. Often telling the parable from the Bible, David convinced his family that he was given this name for a greater purpose.
When they called me David, then I figured it out to myself. My mother didn't even tell me. Then I said to them, I am a conqueror. And then I opened the Bible one day and then I said, look at the scripture. It doesn't say I'm a conqueror, it says I'm more than a conqueror. And then, then they start being emotional. I'm like, why are you emotional? So it's just the truth.
His father is his big supporter, and he was the first to grasp David's revelation.
He likes to say that I'm David. David in the Bible has conquered Goliath. So I can conquer anything that is surrounding me. My Goliath is not a person. It's the surrounding, it's the things that I encounter every day. People that look funny at me, children that comes to me and touches me and want to know, why don't I have hands? This is his Goliath. And he conquers that every day.
People wonder where David gets all the self-belief and self-reliance from.
Children ask me, like this other day, we had to do a presentation in social science with a teacher called Mr. Storm and then they like asked me, how do you do that? How do you get that confidence? And I'm like, it just comes naturally. So I motivate them, like for instance, when they struggle, I'm like, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. You can even go ask them, you can do it. I like give them a boost. I'm like, you're on your own now. Then they start pushing faster and faster. You see, I told you you can do it. Even in the swimming as well. And there was this one lady when she struggled to swim. I'm like, swimming is so easy. Why are you scared of the water? I'm like, you bath in water, you drink water. So what's this? It's just water. Then she started relaxing in the water.
At school, his peers confide in him and his teachers are marveled by his courage. Mr. Leon Storm testifies to the spectacle.
David is actually quite an interesting character, a young man that really wants to show that he can make a success. As I was told you previously, the first time that I actually noticed him is when he was coming to a field event, javelin. And as you notice already, there's a few parts missing. And the way that he did it and the way that he participated and throw the javelin from under his arm for over a meter showed me this is a young guy with character and really wants to succeed. In the class, very active, quite a verbal young man, and I think also a kind of person that thinks about life and being part of life and the experience of want to succeed. I think he's an excellent example to many people with disabilities and people with abilities as well.
The fact that he doesn't have limbs excites David even more as he can show off his abilities. Those an average person sees as impossible or impractical.
His way of writing exams, there's no difference between him and a normal child. He writes with his foot, and his foot is basically his hand. And the time that I gave to him is a bit longer than the normal writing child. But on a good average, 50 to 60, if I push him a little bit, he can get his 70. But I think a wonderful child to have in the class. As naughty as the normal ones, so there's not a difference.
He rather gives no attention to uninformed criticism, amazing his teenage sister Janice.
People do stay, people talk and stuff, like smaller children, they do make fun of him and stuff, but he just shakes it off. But I can see sometimes that it gets to him. But usually he just shakes it off, pretend he didn't hear anything.
For David, there are no challenges, only opportunities to prove his abilities.
There was a lady that actually stopped us and she asked for us if she can pray for him. So we said, no, it's fine, you can pray for him, it's not a problem. And others that says, you know what, this child is very special, you will see how he's going to achieve in life, and he's a blessing and all that. And the other day was in March, we also met another lady at the Love Day in Hyde Park. We took her for an interview. there in, this lady, she said, she looked at him and he wanted to look down because now she's looking at him. And she said, you know what, don't look down, look up. And it was like she was giving him that confidence, you know, don't feel inferior. You are a person, just like any other person, she said, and she started encouraging him. So there are people who, you know, knows how to deal with the situation, and there are others who don't.
David conquers his Goliath on a daily by proving that there is nothing painful about his disability, rather daily opportunities to do better than able-bodied people.
When we return, we take a dive with David. Stay with Bophelong.
Across the globe, locally, and on the entire continent. Every second, every minute, and every hour. There's always a breaking story. We commit to giving you the most important, significant, and interesting news. That's why it is not a surprise that more Africans are tuning to SABC News to find out what is happening. Because when news break, we've got you covered. SABC News, Africa's news leader.
Looking for social issues?
It is not our intention to give condoms to 10-year-old children.
We're here to assist you.
Looking for religious issues?
The point is not for the church to try and prove whether this is the fact.
So we want accountability. Is there a system of governance in your churches?
Political issues.
Barack Obama said Africa should stop looking to the outside for salvation and focus on someone else being at fault for the problems of the continent.
Economic issues.
The young mothers, single mothers, that's buying property now.
Or just looking to air your views.
Here are some of your views on social media.
Look no further, as Newsroom has all the informative information you need. Weekdays at 9 a.m. only on the SABC News channel.
Welcome back to Bophelong with me, Pule Molebatsi. Unlike his peers, David constantly has to make adjustments to get through his daily routine. But his love and passion for life motivates him to explore ways to do that which he loves, swimming. Take a look.
Okay.
Talking less and doing more describes David's full character. Despite his disability, David has showed everyone that they need not to focus on what they see, rather on what they believe.
The swimming part was actually a blessing for me, because when he was smaller, like, he would want to be put in the water and you would have to hold him so he doesn't sink in the swimming pool and all that. And then someone told us, listen, yeah, why don't you take him for swimming lessons and see what will happen? So the swimming actually benefited me, because sometimes I wouldn't want to be in the water. Now he wants to be in the water. I have to get in the water with him and hold him there and feel the water and dip him underwater, because he wanted the water to go over his head and all that. He wanted to be underwater and feel that sensation and that. And he loves swimming very much. If David can swim every day, he would do that every day. This is how he is. And the soccer thing, at first he used to, we bought him a ball and he used to kick the ball in the house. Then he got used to the thing. This thing is bumping. So he kicked the ball higher and then he would kick the thing against things of his mother and against pictures and that. But then we put him outside and let him play outside just alone. Then his sister used to join him, his friends used to join him and play with him and just kick the ball. And this is how we got interested in the soccer thing as well, and with the swimming. And the soccer is a more complex thing for him, because he knows things about soccer that I don't know. He knows players, he knows coaches, he knows all those kind of things of international soccer, local football stars. He knows more of them. then I know actually. And sometimes they would teach us, you know, this guy is that guy. Sometimes we would pass a soccer star. We don't even know. Then he says, there's this guy. He's that and that. This is how he is. He's very interested in sports.
Having supportive and caring friends proves even more that it's not about how you look, but who you are that matters.
I thought, okay, I'm like this now. So I thought to myself when I was younger, okay, I need to figure things out on my own now. So I can't be always reliable on my parents. So I like figuring things out, climbing on the bed. My father used to help me. Then I'm like, no, I got this. Let me try on my own. Got on the bed, then start playing soccer in the streets. Then like, do this, just try to hold the ball. My friends even encouraged me sometimes, or let's say most of the time.
Defining him as a blessing, this ball of power pushes his family to break all barriers and limits.
To have David in our lives, it is like he has filled a gap in our lives. Because when he went to a hospital, because every 2-3 years, he has got this condition that is bone. It grows through the skin. Then you need to operate on it. So that very first time we felt it the hardest, because now he was away from us for a day or two. And that night when he slept over at hospital, I felt that emptiness, that void at home. So he filled a great deal of our lives with his presence. So we can say he is a blessing to us. And as we see him growing, we see that one day he has got a space, a place on earth to do something, to mean something to somebody. And he's got a purpose.
His community and school admires and recognizes David's love for life.
David is a very friendly person. He'll just go around, greet people, and he doesn't even know them. And I'm like, why are you greeting these people? He's like, no, you have to greet people. And like everyone's like, look at him, like look at how he's driving the wheelchair and stuff. Like people get so excited when they see him, like small children. They're overwhelmed when they see him.
The McClopper family have no doubts that David is not just around for them, but for everyone else.
He's not a burden, as the doctor wanted us to know 14 years back. He is a blessing actually to us and to the whole family also.
Yes, like other boys, his father does admit that David tends to be naughty.
He's like a normal boy, naughty. He is naughty sometimes, and he gets a hiding. I do give him hidings now and then to show him that he won't get special preference or special treatment. When he's naughty, he gets a hiding. When he does something wrong, we discipline him. Like we discipline the sister. And from the start, we decided like we're gonna raise him like any other child. And because he's like, his brain is normal, everything is, his functioning is normal, as his brain, he does things that normal boys would do. And sometimes he thinks that he can get away with it. Then we have to stop him and remind him. And like I said, hiding is never too far. He knows it's just around the corner and he gets it.
His tenacity has invariably scored him accolades.
I have a bronze medal for a gala, I think 2 weeks ago I won that medal in a gala.
And the awards, what else have you gotten?
My previous school, I've gotten for the best swimming in the school, and in literacy, and how can I say this? A cricket trophy. And for this last weekend, no, the weekend before last, I got a medal. I got a certificate for the SA Games, participating in the SA School Games for Gauteng.
His dreams for the future are very vivid.
I want to go study to be a IT programmer and go into games, create games. Like I said, I like figuring things out. So I like playing games. They can't stop me from playing games. So that's where I want to go, that industry.
His father also reiterates the same dreams for his son.
He said he wants to be in IT in that. And I told him, for me, he's going to take me places because of the things that he does, that normal people do, but they don't do it as well as he does it. My dreams for him is to aspire in life, to live a normal life, to have things that he wants to have in life, to accomplish things that he sees himself, I can accomplish this and does this. And his motto in life is, I can do all things through God who strengthens me. So basically, and he believes nothing is impossible. And most of the time, he would say and remind us of that. Don't say this is impossible. It's possible because I'm doing it. And for me, the biggest dream for me is for him to live a healthy life, a normal life, to grow as a person, to grow in his personality, to mingle with people, to meet with people, and to encourage people also. And this is my biggest dream for him.
His sister never feels isolated and believes in his brother's dreams of also being a pro swimmer one day.
Like my mother said, to us he's a great blessing, to the whole family, to his friends, people at school. Like, he just brings joy. I can be so upset, but then he just laughs. He just laughs because I'm upset. And then because he laughs, his laughter is so contagious, then you also have to laugh, and then you're not mad anymore. And he falls, like my mother said, there's an emptiness when he's not here.
Whatever you set your mind to, you can definitely achieve.
Through hard work and believing and having faith, you really can do anything.
Absolutely incredible. The power of the human spirit surpasses all the obstacles that life throws your way. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.